Because a lot of people, have been told that, if they can't handle the recoil of a 9 millimeter, then they need to be carrying a 22. That is a training issue. Go to a good trainer, and 99.99 run on percent of the time, okay, a concealed carry permit class isn't always going to be the best place that's going to actually teach you how to handle a handgun, okay, in the manner that's supposed to be, or actually shoot the handgun. Hi everyone, Small Arms Combatives. Today's video is talking about 22s for training and practice. So let's go ahead and let's get some terms out of the way real quick. That way people can understand what I'm talking about. So training is where you go to a class and a qualified instructor's telling you what and how to practice. So when you leave the training and you go do what you call your practice, you know what you should be practicing. So long story short, that's what training is. Practice can generally mean dry practice. So that's where you practice stuff like, just your handgun handling skills, drawing from the holster, dry snapping the trigger, working on your marksmanship and stuff like that. And then there's live fire practice. That's actually where you go to the range and you actually confirm marksmanship while integrating the gun handling skills as well. All right, so now that we've got those two definitions out of the way, we can talk about 22s for training practice, and we can go ahead and throw in defense there, okay? I'm not an advocate of using 22s for a training class. So for most pistols that are in 22 caliber, a lot of those are like target pistols, like the Ruger pistols. They don't have the features of a combative handgun. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, we have a video called Combative Handgun. Go check that out. But basically, I mean the features of a Glock, like a real pistol, okay, like a combat handgun, like a service pistol, okay, a pistol that it would be best to use to defend your life with. That's what I mean by that. And so most 22s don't have those features. A lot of them don't have the magazine releases where they're supposed to be. A lot of them don't have like a slide. They're target pistols at best, okay? So when people come to class, it just makes it really, really hard to train someone on a 22, typically because of the features of the pistol, okay? So it really doesn't have much to do with the caliber. It's the features that we're trying to train people on. We're trying to teach people, in a class how to defend themselves with a pistol. And typically, because of the features of the 22, it doesn't go very well with our curriculum. And so let's talk about 22s, the caliber itself. Most 22 pistols are going to be kind of finicky. So in that particular case, like what do we mean by that? Sometimes they don't always work 100%. They're a little finicky about ammo. If it's like a semi-automatic 22, sometimes you got to have different manufacturers might have different pressures, different loads to where it is fast enough to make the gun function and stuff like that. And so 22s are just very, very finicky, and we don't want people coming to class having a 22 where it's malfunctioning all the time. And so we don't want the pistol malfunctioning because if we see a person shooting a pistol and it's malfunctioning, we want to know, is it something that the person is doing, or is it really the gun? That's kind of my thoughts on that. Another thing is people say, well, hey, if I bring a gun to class that malfunctions, wouldn't that be great for learning how to do malfunction clearing? No, not really, because in a training class, we want to have a controlled environment. So when we want malfunctions to happen, that should be that part of the class. When we do malfunctions, we usually use snap caps in the pistols for that particular part of the class. So we would like to have a controlled environment where we can control certain things that happen, malfunctions being one of them. So we want to make sure is it the shooter, is it the pistol, ammo, what is it? Okay, so we want to try to limit those things so we can find out what's happening to diagnose things to make the shooter learn how to shoot and stuff like that before they leave the class. Okay. So that's for training. I'm not an advocate of using 22s for training. Okay, if you had to use a 22 for training, I would perhaps say maybe you're just really on a budget, like you cannot afford like 9 millimeter. I know over the past couple of years it's better now, but when COVID was happening, it was kind of hard to find 9 millimeter places. Certainly, it would have probably been okay to take a class with a 22 pistol then. So if you absolutely had to run a 22, as long as it's got like the combative handgun features, like a combat handgun, something like a Glock, or Smith and Wesson MP, stuff like that, then it's probably okay. I'm thinking, yes, we've had I've seen a couple Glock 44s come out to the range, and they seem to be fairly decent. At least they have the features that we're looking for. Whether they work or not, like reliability wise, I'd have to spend more time studying, that. Um, and so as long as they got those features, I'm sure they're fine. Find some ammo that makes them work well and go with it. However, I do feel like a pistol like a Glock 44, which is in 22, I do feel as if a pistol like that would be great for live fire practice. Um, just because of the gun handling aspects of having features on the gun that allow you to do what's called martial gun handling. We call it combative gun handling. Some training places call it martial gun handling. And so I do feel like 22s for practice, as a low cost alternative is great. The Like you either can or can't shoot, but like carrying a 22 just for reasons of low recoil, that is a training issue. That means you need to go take a training class where the program concentrates on teaching you how to actually shoot a pistol. Yes, I know a lot of places go over, they brush over how to shoot a pistol. A lot of instructors just say hold it like this, line up the sight, squeeze the trigger, surprise break, all that cliche stuff. But a lot of instructors really don't know how to shoot a pistol themselves. Okay, go to someone who really knows how to shoot. Look at their resume, see what their resume training is. Are they a champion pistol shooter or something like that? Go check them out. I'm sure they'll be able to, if they're able to divulge that information to you. But there are a lot of pistols instructors out there that just cannot teach you how to shoot a pistol. And I've been to classes like that where they just say, "Hey, hold it like this, line up the sight, squeeze the trigger," and that's what you get. So carrying 22s for defense, okay. I'm not an advocate of carrying 22 for defense. I go ahead and tell people get yourself a 9 millimeter. 9 millimeter won't kill it, and you probably need to be carrying a rifle. And if the rifle doesn't work, you probably need to run. So, but I'm not an advocate of carrying 22s for defense. First of all, because many 22s are, horribly unreliable in a way compared to a like these 9mm pistols that we have now. And so I feel as if we choose the right combative handgun, something like a Glock or something similar to it, Smith and Wesson or Sig, whatever brand you prefer. You choose the right pistol, get good training, then you won't need to worry about carrying a 22. Because a lot of people have been told that if they can't handle the recoil of a 9mm, then they need to be carrying a 22. That is a training issue. Go to a good trainer, and 99.99 run on percent of the time, okay, a concealed carry permit class isn't always going to be the best place that's going to actually teach you how to handle a handgun, okay, in the manner that it's supposed to be, or actually shoot the handgun, okay. So the aspects of marksmanship. And so if you're interested in getting some quality training, give us a call or visit Small Arms Combative, sign up for classes. We enjoy having you here. Everyone have a great day. Over and out.